My name is Alex Marshall and this is my YouTube channel. This is actually the second time I'm filming this video. The first time I just sat down, no notes, and blurted everything out and it was a total mess. I might insert some clips of that video here because it really was just word vomit. And so that my actions and my, my things to do. But luckily this time I have notes, and in this video I'm going to talk, it's going to be in 3 sections. Number 1 is a bit of an intro and talking about starting this YouTube channel. Number 2 is about my values, and number 3 is about my goals for this channel. Okay, so I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for maybe 4 years because I'm really passionate about sustainability and about justice and activism and taking action. So I want to talk about that kind of thing, and I want to empower people to be able to live sustainably and have a positive impact. The skill that I have that kind of helps me get my other skills is I'm pretty good at getting complex information and condensing it, summarizing it, and translating it into easier to understand language. Essentially, comprehension is what I'm good at. Yeah, I find that sometimes if I'm in between 2 people arguing, I can explain the points of each person to each other. Well, that's just one example. It doesn't happen that often, but that's a nice summary of a talent of mine. So I wanted to translate that into helping and contributing towards sustainability. One of the best ways to do that, I think, is by making videos and publishing them, communicating different ideas and actions and giving free information to people. It's taken me a long time to start this channel because I keep wanting to do this perfect video, and I've made it this big scary thing in my head to start. And I started filming a video. I was going to do 7 days of learning French. This week I will be learning as much French as I can in 7 days. But then I got all these work shifts that came up, and just things get in the way, which they do with everything. But anytime something would get in the way, I'd be like, no, I can't do it anymore, it's not good enough, this isn't good, whatever. So that's why I'm filming this video, is so I can just to get that ball rolling, because this is something that I'm super passionate about and super excited about. I think it'll be really fun, and hopefully I'll be able to have a really positive impact on some people. But what guides everything I do in my whole life is my values, which I identify and I evaluate and reevaluate every year, at least. If I asked you exactly what your top values are right now, could you answer that? If the answer is no, which I believe it is for a lot of people, I really encourage you to work that out. There's heaps of questions, Google online questions to help me find my values, and there'll be questions like, when are you most happy, what are you most proud of, what makes you angry, and all those kind of things. And then you get your answers to all those questions and pull out values that you can identify from that. So please do that, because every single day we take actions, we make decisions all the time, every second, every day. Me personally, who really is so aware and thinks often about my values and what I care about, every single day I make so many decisions and act in so many ways that does not match up with my values. And that's with someone who really, again, so aware of my values and really is passionate about them. If you don't even know what your values are, how can you identify what things you're doing that don't match, aren't in alignment with what you care about?
Values are so important because it's easy to act against our own best interest and what we care about, and that makes us unhappy. So for example, if you really value spending time with your family and friends, but you're not doing that, that'll make you unhappy. It's easy to get caught up in work or study, and it's easy to get off track with what you care about. Work out what you care about, what makes you happy, what sort of contribution you want to have in the world. And if you can analyze what you're doing every day and try and make sure that everything as much as you can each day is contributing towards what you care about, you're going to be much happier. That's just it just makes sense.
So my values, after that long-winded thing, my values, number one, this covers everything. What I care about the most is sustainability. To me, sustainability is enough for all, forever. I don't know who first said that, but it wasn't me. To me, this means enough is all needs and rights for all people around the world are met and can continue to be met forever. That's the ultimate goal for me. That's what I want all of my actions to be working towards and contributing to. And then under sustainability, I have this value or methodology maybe, which is consequentialism.
This is quite a complex thing to explain. I clearly actually didn't understand it properly, because the true definition of consequentialism is, the definition here is that it's the doctrine that morality of an action is judged solely on its consequences. So if you do something and the results were good, that means it was a moral choice. But for me, what I thought it was, and this is what I actually believe in, this is my value, is you make decisions depending on which decision is most likely to have the best outcome. So even if something goes wrong, if you chose something that is most likely to have a positive impact, to be beneficial, to meet sustainability and contribute positively to sustainability, that's just for me, then that was a good decision, even if the consequences end up being negative, just because that happens sometimes.
But my goals for this channel, I want it to be a really welcoming place. I don't want to shame anyone for using plastic, or we want to move away from these things, but individually it's something that we can't always help, and I want to focus more on systemic change. Individually we can do heaps, and individually we can contribute to systemic change. There's no one's perfect, and I don't want to give off that impression that I think we have to be perfect to be a good person, because no, that's impossible. It has to be inclusive. This space has to be inclusive. I don't want any person to feel unwelcomed. Privilege is such an important thing to address in sustainability.
I didn't really talk about privilege well enough when I filmed this, but it's something that I really is a massive thing to consider when we're talking about sustainability, because often at this point in time, more sustainable options are more expensive, they're not accessible to everyone for a number of reasons, and that's just one aspect. There's a lot of different things. The people who are contributing to the climate emergency the most, they're the rich, really rich, the massive corporations, and they're the ones that will be affected the least. The people who are living under the poverty line and really struggling, those are the people who are going to be impacted by the climate emergency first. And so in an inclusive environment, I want people to feel good and comfortable and welcomed, and also under that umbrella of inclusivity is discussing and acknowledging and really not ignoring privilege.
I want to give good information. I want it to be concise. I want it to be accurate. I want it to be factual and scientific. Not necessarily in delivery, but I want my information to be based on scientific research, and I want it to be actionable information. I want hopefully to empower people to take action, to make systemic change, and I want to offer people hope, because talking about the climate emergency, about the environmental crisis, about the social justice and human rights is overwhelming, it's scary, it's so easy to shut down when you hear this information, and of course that makes sense, but we shut down because there's nothing at the end of it that says, hey, we can change this, hey, you can do something right now, this is scary but there is hope and we can do something. And that is one of the absolute imperatives of all my videos. That's what I want people to know, that's what I want people to hear. It's got me all riled up. This is a little tangent here, but I don't outwardly express the true extent of my emotions, right? So yeah, even if it doesn't come across, I'm a lot more passionate than my tone of voice or my expression or my gestures lets on. Another thing that is imperative is that I want you to know, and I want it to be okay for me as well, that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to change your mind.
It's okay to be wrong, and what we have to do is we have to try and amend our mistakes, admit that we're wrong, and it's not okay to be wrong and not do something about it once you've realised you're wrong.
What did you believe when you were 5 years old? Imagine if you hadn't changed your mind since then. When I was 5, I used to think that if your hair got stuck in the fan, it would get caught on it, and then your head would spin around and like break off. So I'm glad I changed my mind on that. Everyone has to be wrong about something, and we have to accept that and always be on top of our thinking and our beliefs. Don't take anything for granted, and really acknowledge the underlying things that we believe, the underlying things that drive our actions and have an impact on the world. And finally, I want to tell the truth.
What I was trying to say here is that while I will always be honest, tell the truth, my information will be factual, and if I find out I've made a mistake and it's not, I will address that. What I mean by tell the truth is I want to be super honest and share information that I think will be difficult to share. Might be polarizing, people might not respond well to it, that kind of thing. The sort of stuff the truthful stuff that's scary to share is what I'm talking about. I will always tell the truth, I will always tell facts, but the thing I need to warm up to is the truth and the facts that people don't want to talk about.
So in this video, I talked about why I want to start a YouTube channel and the barriers that I've had to starting it up till now. I talked about my values, which guide everything I do, so obviously that includes making videos and this YouTube channel. And thirdly, I spoke about my goals for this channel, which were I want it to be welcoming, inclusive, comfortable. I want to give good and factual information. I want to offer hope. I want this to be a hopeful and exciting and actionable and empowering channel and videos. I want it to be okay for you to be wrong. I want it to be okay for me to be wrong. I want to tell the truth. I want to talk about things that are difficult to talk about. And yeah, anyway, I really appreciate anyone who's watched this. Probably the only people watching this are family and friends and people I know. So hello everyone. This is a little bit scary to put my opinions out in this form. But thank you, because this is, as you hopefully can tell through me speaking, it's something I'm super passionate about and something I want to keep doing for a long time. Any form of support for this YouTube channel and what I'm doing, I so appreciate it, because it's my number one value is sustainability, and contributing it to that concept myself, and also empowering others to contribute to sustainability as well. You watching this video, you supporting this video is supporting that dream, that goal, that concept. So thank you, I appreciate it. I don't know how to end this video, but this is something I say in my workshops with primary school children. Remember to reduce and swap, and remember to always learn, listen and love.